Hi, Alex here. Have you heard of ecological footprint and Earth Overshoot Day? Our ecological footprint is how much we demand from nature. Currently, humanity is using the equivalent of 1.6 planets. Every year, Global Footprint Network calculates Earth Overshoot Day. It marks the date when humanity's demand on nature exceeds what the Earth can regenerate in that year. In 2000, Earth Overshoot Day fell in early October, and in 2015, it falls on August 13th. You can think about this as a bank account. For the first 7 months and 13 days in 2015, we lived on our annual revenue. After that, we spent our capital. Seems like there's something wrong with that math. Our ecological footprint measures how much land and water area we need to produce the resources we use, things like food, land for settlements, timber, seafood, and to absorb the waste and carbon dioxide we generate. Our biocapacity is the amount of biologically productive areas, such as forests, fishing grounds, crop and grazing areas, that are available to provide the resources we use and to absorb our waste. We can compare footprint and biocapacity to see if we are well balanced or not. So, why do we care about humanity's ecological footprint? The cost of ecological overspending are evident every day in the form of deforestation, drought, biodiversity loss, and the buildup of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Ecological overspending also can put nations at more risk. Without sufficient resources, it is hard to operate an economy. Or we have to import more, which has costs as well. Carbon emissions from fossil fuel use are a big part of today's footprint. Today, humanity's carbon footprint makes up 54% of the world's total ecological footprint. If we continue business as usual, we would need the resources equivalent to 2 planets by 2030. Earth Overshoot Day would be moved up on the calendar to the end of June in 2030. However, there is another option. The global agreement being discussed worldwide to phase out fossil fuels could help reduce the world's ecological footprint. If global carbon emissions alone are reduced by at least 30% below today's level by 2030, Earth Overshoot Day would be moved back on the calendar to mid-September. Such large cuts are not impossible. Denmark has done it. Since the 1990s, Denmark reduced its carbon emissions by 1/3. Had the world done the same thing, while not changing the rest of the footprint, Earth Overshoot Day would be on October 3rd instead of August 13th in 2015. This would also limit global warming to 2 degrees Celsius over pre-industrial revolution levels, the target suggested by climate scientists, and a big step in the right direction. I am sure hoping that the United Nations climate talks in Paris at the end of this year will help us do just that. We mostly talked about footprint for nations, but you can also measure the ecological footprint of an individual, a city, or a business. I calculated my ecological footprint on Global Footprint Network's website, and it is around 3.9 global hectares. I live in Canada, which has a footprint of 7 global hectares per person. Why is mine smaller? Well, mostly thanks to my lifestyle. I try to not eat very much meat, I drive little, and I live in a highly energy-efficient house. The ecological footprint helps me understand our relationship to the planet. So if you want to give us a hand, you can start by calculating your own footprint on footprintcalculator.org.